What's going on, good people? We're working on a weekend. We're back here, episode 2, Saturday and Sunday, right here on Black News Channel, Esports Extra. We are the show that talks traditional sports, esports, gaming, and culture. Also, a little entertainment. Later, CBS Sports, Madden NFL, NBA 2K League. Good to be back here on Black News Channel, our second show here on BNC. Proud to be here on Black News Channel. Guys, got a great show for you here on Esports Extra. We're talking about the NBA Finals. Now a best of 3, being tied at 2-2 going into the weekend. Also, Team USA basketball. We'll get into some of the concerns with the Team USA basketball team as they get ready to head over to Tokyo over there in Japan. Also, Shohei Ohtani, now the face of Major League Baseball. Speaking of Japan, a Japanese star, leads the Major League Baseball in home runs. Great player, great ambassador for the game. But Stephen A. Smith opened up a can of worms earlier this week. Our good friend from ESPN will get into some of that. Also, Conor McGregor, is he done? Finito. 88 and out the gate. Should he leave a UFC after that loss to Dustin Poirier? Washington football team, name change and logo. It's coming, folks. Next year, we'll talk about some of the teams, the names that it possibly could be, and we'll tell you some of the names that we know for sure that it will not be. Also, Lamar Jackson, viral video out there, doing great work with the kids. But is he putting his career on the line? Is there too much risk involved playing with the kids and the youth in some of his camps with Lamar Jackson? Then we'll end the show. Esports, the esports part of Esports Extra NBA 2K22 cover athletes. That is plural there. I'll get into some of that, including the first female athlete to grace the cover of NBA 2K. Let's go ahead and bring in our panelists today. Our co-hosts. We got Kelly Wells Brinkley down in H-Town, my hometown. What's up, Kels?
Man, I'm so excited to be back for episode 2. You know, I have to bring the spice and keeping you guys in line because y'all know how y'all at.
Spice, okay. Derwin Worrell, kids call him Dad, fellow TV sportscaster. He's out there in Carnoustie, right?
Canarsie, Brooklyn. That's where I live.
Near Iverson sisters? What's in Brooklyn?
No, not Iverson's sister, and it's Bedford Stuyvesant, but I'm in Canarsie. Thank you.
Well, that's close. Now you see what I'm talking about. Not too far down there in Brooklyn. What Brooklyn at? BK, baby. The Brooklyn Bounce. OG King Kurt, head coach and general manager of the Brooklyn Nets gaming crew, the NBA 2K League team. OG King Kurt. But he ain't old. What's up, OG?
Hey, nothing much. Glad to be back. Ready to get into it.
Ready to get it started. Ooh, I make no sense. Spot him, got him. A. Willie, what's up with you, man? Antonio Williams down there in Dalworth. We call him A. Willie, former basketball player at Brandeis University. Also, former Phoenix Suns scout. Also worked in the Boston Red Sox organization. Also worked at Nike. A. Willie, what it do?
We in this thing, man. I guess we did something right. They brought us back for a second show. So I want to make sure I uphold the standard and don't get anybody in trouble.
Shout out to Prince O'Hara and Gary Wardlaw, the good folks at PNC Black News Channel, for bringing us back for the second episode. Guys, you guys ready? Of course, you know where we're going to start. You guys ready to talk about the association?
Let's go.
Let's go. NBA Finals now a best of 3, ladies and gentlemen, tied at 2-2. The Milwaukee Bucks getting both wins in Milwaukee, Cream City. Yes, Brew City. Over the week, tied at 2, winning games 3 and 4. Now heading into a game 5 this weekend here, a crucial game 5. But look at Milwaukee playing very well, guys. Giannis doing this thing. Chris Middleton playing, well, I guess you can call him Batman. At least in game 4 he was. Devin Booker also poured in over 40 at 42. Chris Middleton 40. It's a best of 3. Who's got the momentum and who's going to win this series? Me and A. Willie said it was definitely going at least 6. Kels, have you changed your tune on Milwaukee? Do they have a shot here?
Wait, whoa. No, I said it was going to 6. Hold on now. Let's keep it honest though. What I do love is the electricity I see coming from the Bucks. You know, it would have been super easy for them to get down on themselves, but the way that they turned it around at home was magical to watch. Giannis's block tonight, I jumped off the couch, my snacks went flying. It was great. Like, I'm just enjoying good basketball. I'm a sports fan and I want to see competitive games, and this was super competitive. So, you know, I still say the Suns because they got to go back, but I just want to see games to the wire like we did tonight.
Yes, and that would have been Wednesday night. Great game 4 there. Giannis with the block. About 90 seconds left during Worrell. They were only up to Booker. Alley-oop. It was DeAndre Ayton trying to rock that hoop, got you back like chiropractic, but Giannis with the LeBron James-esque dunk from 2016. How big was that getting Milwaukee back into the series? Do they have a chance in the Valley?
They absolutely have a chance, and that was a huge play, and we might have to look back at that play if the Milwaukee Bucks are able to win this series. I mean, if you're Phoenix, man, you wasted 42 points from Booker. Chris Paul, I think that was Chris Paul from State Farm. I don't know who that was.
That was Cliff. That was Cliff.
Man, I don't know who that was in Game 4, but he needs to show up. If you're Phoenix, you got to be very worried, very concerned. I don't think anybody wants to see a Game 7 if it goes that far, but the fans. But if you're Phoenix, man, you had a chance to put your foot down these guys' neck, and you lit them up. you let them off the hook. You let them off the hook. I mean, it was right there for them. But the guy that really stepped up, Chris Middleton, 40 points in that game.
Is he Batman or Robin?
He was Batman in that game because he pulled that thing out. And this is coming after. This is in the fourth quarter because the third quarter was Booker. Booker was 7 of 7. He scored, I think, 18 points in that quarter. And, Chris Middleton said, hey, ref, hold my beer. And he went out and did his thing in that fourth quarter. He helped close it out. Milwaukee is rolling with momentum. They have really nothing to lose because everybody picked Phoenix. Everybody's pretty much riding on the Chris Paul story. Want to see Chris get that championship. And now if you're Milwaukee, you're playing with house money. But if you're Phoenix, the one thing you can say is that we don't have to win a road game to win this championship.
That is true.
We'll see this weekend what happens.
OG, the next 2 out of 3 potentially would be played in Phoenix. How good did Milwaukee look, Chris Middleton? We've seen what he's been able to do. You saw him against your Brooklyn Nets, Game 3, huge output there. Also against the Atlanta Hawks in the conference finals there. So we know Chris Middleton, like he's a former All-Star. Is he a true number 2, OG?
Yeah, I mean, I think the biggest thing with Chris Middleton for me is that it's just about our consistency. I mean, he shows flashes, definitely, he's that guy, but then there's other moments where he has a chance to, I think, to consistently solidify himself. It kind of goes out the window from time to time. And, that game, it wasn't the best officiated game, but I think Milwaukee took full advantage of it. Giannis made plays down the stretch that basically propelled them to the victory. Chris Middleton, I mean, I think I hope he uses that game and actually puts on a show in Phoenix because I do think they can steal a game in Phoenix. But it's going to be tough. And like Derwin said, luckily for Phoenix, they don't have to win a game on the road to win the series. So it's definitely going to be a fun matchup to see now that there's only 3 games left, potentially.
First 4 games, the home team 4-0. Game 5 Saturday night, 9 p.m. Eastern in the Valley. Speaking of the Valley, the guy that used to work in the Valley with the Phoenix Suns saw that team grow from when they had Similac, in their mouth, in their breath, to being grown men now and playing in the NBA Finals. They had Similac in their mouth. That was a long time. It was 4, 5, 6 years ago when they were drafting those kids, Booker and DeAndre Ayton. Antonio Williams. How concerned are you with your old team, your old squad? Just get a check from Phoenix. How concerned are you with the dudes in the Valley?
Well, I thought this thing would go 6. And there are a couple of things that work for me that I noticed. When they look to establish DeAndre Ayton early, it helps to get him into the game. He gets into a flow. He controls the glass, does a good job on the defensive end. But offensively, you can watch. It's always scary. We love to see these virtuosos by these great players. But what really gets you over the hump is when you have one of those virtuosos and you have other people contributing. If you watch the flow of that game, Devin was doing Kobe stuff, finishing with his left hand. That was Kobe Bryant finishing with his offhand. But if you watch that game, you watch the flow of it, everything was difficult for Phoenix, everything. And I feel like one of the reasons why that was so difficult is because they didn't go to DeAndre Ayton early and try to establish him and then make sure that he has some confidence going down the stretch. Because if you watch him, he's a flow guy. got to get him involved early. Now he's still going to rebound, still going to play defense. But if you really want him to assert himself offensively, you got to go to him early. You can't go to him early or don't go to him at all and then go to him down the stretch and think you're going to get big points. He's still a young guy. So you got to go to him early. You got to get him, as they say, lathered up, right? Get him going, make him feel good about himself. And I feel like that was one of the things that Phoenix kind of got away from. And it became the Devin Booker show, and I think that hurt him.
Yeah. Durham was talking about Chris Paul. He played like Cliff Paul. You're talking about the State Farm commercials. That's Uncle Cliff in the State Farm commercials. Look, we're tied at 2. You look at what's going on now. We got the next 3 coming up, a best of 3. Also, I love what Chris Middleton is doing. We'll see if Milwaukee can get a win on the road. How about the Bucks? Down by 9 in that fourth quarter. End up winning by 6, outscoring you by 15 going down the stretch. Milwaukee tying this thing up at 2. Let's go ahead and take a break. We got more coming up here on Esports Extra. We're talking more hoops, more NBA guys. Team USA, they lose a couple of games. Nigeria, Australia, yuck. What happened to Team USA? They did right the ship, though, against Argentina. Are we really concerned heading over to Tokyo? We'll talk about it. Team USA basketball, a couple of losses in exhibition play. More Esports Extra coming up right here on BNC after a quick timeout. And we're back here on BNC, Black News Channel, working on a weekend. Esports Extra, traditional show right here, talking traditional sports, esports gaming, and entertainment and culture. Here, Larry C. Sports, Madden NFL, NBA 2K League. We're back here on BNC. Got the cast here. Kelly Wills, Brinkley, Durham Will. Antonio Williams, OG King Kurt, guys. Keep it with the NBA players. Team USA, of course, losing a couple of exhibition games out there in Las Vegas. Getting ready for the 2020 Olympics being played in 2021. In Tokyo, lost to Nigeria by 3. Then, of course, lost game 2 exhibition earlier this week to Australia by 8. Huge concerns there. Only 2 losses since 1992, the original Dream Team. And they've had 2 in the past, actually within the span of 3 or 4 days. Any concerns, guys? I know they right at the ship, got a big 20-something point lead or win, or 30-point win over Argentina. Really don't have very many NBA pros. I mean, Luis Scolari is really an old guy, not in the NBA anymore. How concerned are you with Team USA heading to Vegas? We'll start with you, OG.
I'm not concerned. I think anytime you look at these games, especially the scrimmages, the exhibition games, it's big games for other countries. We've been dominant in this sport. So I think, they probably went in and underestimated them. And they just got outplayed in those exhibitions, the way I look at it. Nigeria, they did a phenomenal job knocking down shots, real gritty on the glass. They just took it to us, in the same thing with Australia. I mean, and now we're playing against it's pros against pros to a degree. Of course, we got the top tier players, but it's more NBA players playing against each other than over the years. So I'm not concerned though. I think they're going to take care of business in Tokyo.
Hey, Willie, we haven't really sent our best. There's no LeBron. We do have KD over there. We still got a couple of players or a few players that's going to go over there. We got Chris Middleton, Drew Holiday, and also Devin Booker. How concerned are you, Willie? Mr. NBA, you worked in the NBA, got to check everything from the association. How concerned are you with the way Team USA looks, at least early on? I know, the coach of Team USA, he kind of popped off with a couple of reporters this week. Had some factual, some misinformation, if you will, talking about how they usually dominate in the exhibition play.
Yeah, I agree with OG. I'm not super concerned. I think these are games where we've saw this with the WNBA and our Team USA team actually lost in the WNBA All-Star game. They're not a team yet. Got to figure it out. Got to get some cohesion. Got to get some defined roles. I think one of the things that I look at with this team in particular is Kevin Durant, and the fact that this man has so many talents, he's going to have to wear a few more hats for them to be successful. He's got to rebound, he's got to rim protect, but I think he'll do that. The other scores will have to step up there, but I'm not concerned.
Kelly Wells, your concern level with Team USA as they get ready to embark on that trip to Tokyo, still with a couple more exhibition games left.
I'm a little concerned, actually. I think that personnel, our team's a bit small in comparison to other teams. So I feel like that could be a problem. I feel like we have, you know, had a big expectation of a smaller team. And so this isn't teams of teams past. So they've got to get cohesion. They've got to work the ball a bit better. Their ball movement in the game against Nigeria was atrocious. And they didn't look like the players that I know them to look like. So, yes, they've got a couple more games to get this together, pull it together, and work together as a team because that's the only way that they're going to win by understanding what their role is, who does what, who's the main starters, who are the role players, and getting it done that way because otherwise it's going to be a tragedy for Team USA.
So, not very much concern on this panel. Derwin Worrell, are you concerned? I know you're usually the guy that's a little contrarian. You concerned?
I'm not overly concerned. Like a lot of you guys have said, they have to gel. They have to gel and come together as a squad, first off. And the teams that they're playing now, they have some NBA players. So it's going to be not the cakewalk that we're used to. Where I would be concerned is on the defensive end, allowing teams to shoot 45% from the field. You can't have that. Allowing teams to shoot 48% from 3-point range. That's not going to help you either. And they got to do a better job on the glass. The two games that they did lose, they got out rebounded by at least 10 boards. So if you want to have any concerns, you want to be concerned on that defensive end. They have to do better. Hopefully, with a couple of more exhibition games, they will gel and be ready for Tokyo.
Looked really good against Argentina early in the week, but everybody beat up on Argentina, including Nigeria, by 20-something plus points. Real quickly, guys, 5 seconds left. Les, Kelly Wells, will they win gold in Tokyo? Yay or nay?
No,
Whoa. Wow. Who the hell will then?
not us.
Wow. that shocked me. I was not expecting it. Derwin, who you got winning gold?
They better win gold. Don't come back home.
OG,
It's that simple.
Who's winning gold, OG?
Yeah, we coming home with the gold.
Yeah. Hey, Willie?
We'll win the gold.
Not our best, probably our B team, but we're going to win gold. And I think they'll win rather handily. They're going to get the cohesion worked out. I'm worried about their size. They only got 3 bigs. You got Bam, you got Kevin Love, you got Draymond. But we got some great shooters. I think KD will lead these guys. He's going to average about 25 points a game. All right, guys, we'll see about that with the Olympics starting literally in a week or two. All right, guys, let's take a break. We'll come back with more. We're talking Major League Baseball, the face of Major League Baseball. We're talking about Japan. Shohei Ohtani from Japan, great young star, leads the Major League Baseball in home runs, but doesn't speak English, at least publicly. Stephen A. had some choice words. He took some heat from it. We'll also sort of wade into this. We'll come back with more Esports Extra right here on BNC. Welcome back here to Esports Extra, the show that talks traditional sports, esports, gaming, and entertainment, and a little culture as well. I'll let everybody here see the Sports Mad NFL NBA 2K League. Got Kelly Wells, Durham Morrell, OG King Kurt, and A. Willie, the former Phoenix Suns scout. Guys, big story this week. ESPN seems like they're always in the news this week. Stephen A. Smith had some choice words on our first take about Shohei Ohtani, talking about him not being the face of Major League Baseball because he does not speak English, at least publicly. We do know that he does speak English occasionally, or at least with his teammates in the clubhouse and things of that nature. Here's a guy that's come from a different country, that's taken this sport by storm, leading vote getter for Major League Baseball, home run leader, pitcher, starter in the All-Star game, first player in Major League Baseball history to make it to the All-Star game as a pitcher and as a hitter, doing really great things. Not speaking English, I want to say this about what Stephen A. Smith said. There's some truth to what he's saying about, I wish that he did speak English. It would just make it a lot easier. Also to be a star and, to be box office here in this country. You really don't need to speak English, but it would just help as far as communication and also just, sort of, communicating with other people. But it was just really tone deaf on that. I want to get you guys' thoughts on that. Also, there's a reason why a lot of these guys are not comfortable speaking English because they say something wrong. People like us and everybody else in the media will come after them. So there's a catch-22 there. Kels, we'll start with you. Stephen A. Smith, was he out of bounds?
Absolutely. Athletics, baseball is a global sport. So I don't think that you have to speak the language and speak it fluently to be the face of it. He's come in, he's setting a precedent for people who want to immigrate to this country to show that, you can be successful, you can make a way without having to speak that language. So it speaks to the masses of people. I mean, if you look at baseball in general, it's a mix of countries. There are people from Curacao, people from Cuba, all over. So I feel like it's indicative of our country. And so to say that, he can't be the face of something because, he's not comfortable with our language, our language isn't even the predominant language in the world. So, we can't make that judgment at this moment.
The only worldwide language is music. It seems like that's the only thing that we all sort of have in common. Derwin Worrell, your thoughts here? Stephen A. Is he out of bounds?
Yeah, he was out of bounds, and he apologized for it.
He did.
Yeah, he did apologize for it, and he said that basically once he realized that he had offended a group of people, he said that was never his intent. He doesn't go on air to offend anyone, and he was sorry, and he apologized. He wanted to apologize to the young man, but I didn't understand why he even went down that road because he's from New York. We've had Hideki Matsui. We've had Hideki Arabu, two Japanese stars here in New York. And they weren't great at speaking English either. So I don't even know why Stephen A. went down that rabbit hole, but it was a learning period for all of us once again. But having that Japanese culture be a part of Major League Baseball is great. And it's just going to bring more eyes to baseball. Japan plays baseball, the Dominican Republic, Cuba, and baseball wants to have all these other nationalities come in. And it's like, Kelly said, it's a global sport. So sometimes we can open our mouth and put our foot in it. And this time, I love Stephen A., but he was wrong on this one.
Yeah, I think he did sort of step in, and he knew. I think he said, "quote unquote," I screwed up. He did apologize to the Asian community, and of course, being an African American, being a black man, plights that we sort of go through as a people. He definitely understands that. OG, was the apology good enough? I think so.
Yeah, you hate to see it happen, but I mean, he definitely was out of bounds. And the funny thing about it, he's criticizing a player for not speaking fluent English publicly, but we know him because of his talents. And if he was a subpar player, that would have never even been a topic. So I think credit it to him that he's came into America and he's dominated the game, and he's brought massive attention on himself in the game of baseball. So it's unfortunate that Stephen A. took that route, but I mean, he does that, from time to time. So he's definitely out of bounds. I'm glad he apologized.
Hey, Willie, back to Stephen A.'s original point and what he was trying to say, how it's difficult to be a superstar, to be box office, to be the face of Major League Baseball when you have to use an interpreter. I think there's some credence there. I will at least give him that. Is that fair?
I think it is, but I also too think that what I really think is it's an indictment on our country to a certain extent because, we dominate. When you talk about Western media, you're talking about the United States, and if you really want to be a citizen of the world, you really have to be a citizen of the world. And we do a bad job with that. And this is, from our public school system. Oftentimes we don't speak other languages. We don't teach other languages. Well, meanwhile, you go to other places and those kids learn 4 and 5 languages at the same time. Sure. So that becomes an issue here more than any other country. It really says more about our sensibilities and the fact that Stephen A. can make that type of comment and it resonate with a lot of people. That says more about us than it says about him. Shohei Ohtani.
So we'll see what happens going forward. But it was good to see Stephen A. Correct apology. He had a video apology, and then he had the written apology, which was much more solid. Said, "Look, I apologize. I screwed up." That's exactly what needed to be said. All right, guys, let's go ahead and take a break. We'll come back. We're going inside the octagon right here on Esports Extra. Conor McGregor talked that talk. Talked about Dustin Poirier. Talked about the man's wife. I'm gonna maybe kill you guys and shoot you all in your sleep. Well, he lost the match and his ankles shattered. So we'll see. Is he done in the UFC, guys? We'll have it for you right here coming up next. Esports Extra right here on BNC. We're back here on BNC. This is Esports Extra, the show that talks traditional sports, esports, gaming, entertainment, and culture. Larry Ridley here, CBS Sports Betting Info, NBA 2K League. Got the cast here with me, Kels, Derwin, A. Willie, OG. We'll start with you, Kels. We were just talking about, we teased it coming here. Coming back to the segment, Conor McGregor, of course, lost the UFC match last weekend. Shattered his leg there, but look, he was pretty much losing on everyone's card. 10-8 in some instances there. Was probably going to lose this match anyway. He was taking a beat, as you can see there, by Dustin Poirier. You can't talk about a man and his wife like that. Shattered his ankle. You can see, went for a kick, and Dustin even said he heard it pop, so he knew he was finito there. Was stopped TKO right at the 5-minute mark as the fight ended. Dustin, wins the match, wins 2 out of 3 with that trilogy. Conor still talking smack on his keister there with a broken ankle. Kels, is he done in UFC?
Oh yeah, he's been done, but they're gonna keep booking him because he's
I don't
sensational.
know.
He's
Exactly.
sensational. He brings money. People are gonna watch. I don't like the trash talk about somebody's wife because I'm a wife, but like people are gonna watch just for that. So no, he's not done in the UFC. Now, physically, probably so.
Hmm. Derwin, look, he can come back from a broken ankle, whatever, 3 to 6 months if it needs to, completely heal. Dana White's already said 4, so it's going to be a 4th fight. I don't think he's earned the right. I don't even think he's a top 10 guy right now in lightweight in that division. He's getting up there in age. He does a good job selling vodka and all the other things. Look, he's got the swag. We all love it. Love the chirping and the woofing and all that good stuff. Is he done though, Daryl?
No, he's not done. He's just got to heal. He's got to heal that leg and trust that leg once again, once it heals. But he's a huge draw. He's a big money ticket. I still think Conor McGregor could fight. I think Poirier was a tremendous fighter, and it was going to be a great match. But we don't know how it would have turned out because it stopped in the first round because Conor shattered his ankle. But Conor can still fight, I believe, and he is not done.
Hold on, I'm going to push back just a little bit. I got 10 seconds for you. We don't know how it was going to turn out. He was getting his butt whooped. What are you talking about?
He was on his back. He had to get to his feet.
There's a reason why he was on his back. Did you not see the uppercuts, the lefts, and everything else he took?
Okay. The bell was about to ring to end the round.
Oh, my gosh.
Okay. They're going to start the second round. He's going to be on his feet.
Dude. Where's your ukulele, dude? Where's your violin?
Listen, don't count that man out. He is not done. He can still do it. He'll be back. You write it down. Book it.
OG, is he done?
I think he's done. I mean, obviously he can still talk the talk, but it's going to be hard to walk the walk after shattering that ankle like that. And like you said, he's getting up in age. I can see him still obviously being a draw, but I don't think we're going to see any other result than what we saw in his last fight.
Hey, Willen can't do anything on the ground. He can't grapple. He's got to do something else. Everyone's sort of figured him out. Look, he's still got this. And look, everybody's, one knockout away from winning in the UFC. It's combat sports. I get that. Is he done? Is he done?
I think, at least for me, fighting at the top of that division for championships, I don't see that. But I don't think he's done fighting in the UFC. There are big money fights there. There's a Nate Diaz fight that he could take.
Mm-hmm.
Both another guy that's another showman. There are other fights there. There are versus fights. There are Triller fights that he can take as well. So I don't think he's done there. But one thing I'll say this really quick with the UFC, they did this with Ronda Rousey as well. You have this thing where the best fighters always fight the best fighters. They do a great job of doing that. But when those fighters lose that mystique, they'll have an injury and they put them right back in against people at the top of the division. It's probably what they shouldn't do. They did that with Ronda Rousey. Instead of letting her build her confidence, let her build that mystique up, she lost, they put her right back in. And then they did the same thing with Conor, and we're seeing the result of it. So I would like to see the UFC do a better job of managing these big names.
Well, look, he's still a big draw when it comes to the gate and the pay-per-views, the TVs. You get a Dustin Poirier, Conor McGregor 4.
Absolutely. He's going to fight for the 4th time. And Conor's just been infrequent. He has not fought enough in the last couple of years. And you got to fight more. You got to stay current. But there'll be a 4th fight, and people will buy it.
Yeah, you're right about that. Hey, Willie, he's got this excuse.
I think it'll be a 4th fight because people will buy it. But it depends on if Dustin wins the title. I don't know. But I do think it'll be a 4th fight.
OG, he's got an excuse.
No, I'll definitely be a 4th fight. If there's money to be made, it's going to happen.
All right. There's definitely money to be made. And not only that, Dana White's already put it out there. He's going to let the cat out the bag. Go to a 4th fight. So I'm sure we'll see that UFC probably 300 or something. I forget whatever number we're on. We're up 264, whatever the heck it was. We'll see about that. All right, guys, we're going to take a break. We'll come back. We're talking National Football League. The Washington football team will have a new name and logo in early 2022. What name will it be? We'll find out. Also, what name it won't be. We'll tell you what that is. Also, Lamar Jackson, real quickly. Oh, viral video. Lamar on the blacktop playing with the kids. A lot of people not happy about that. We'll break it all down for you right here. You're watching Esports Extra right here on BNC. All right, good people, we're back here on Esports Extra right here on BNC, Black News Channel. Larry Ridley here. CBS Sports, Bad NFL, NBA 2K League back here with Kels, D-Dubs, OG, and A. Willie, guys. We're talking National Football League. Washington football team, of course, changed the name last year. Played under the Washington football team moniker. Going to play again this year as WFT. That man right there, Jason Wright, said earlier this week, the new name change and logo coming in early 2022. Got a list of about 2 dozen names, up to about 30, including Red Tails, Red Wolves, who see names like that. You got some other names like, across DC, a Washington football team could be one, DC Football Club, things of that nature. One name you will not see anything that has to do with Native American names or imagery. That will not take place. Of course, we remember the name that they went by for years, the R word. We will not mention that here on this program. We'll start with you, A. Willie. What name should the Washington football team take in 2022? The name will stay as far as Washington. The colors will remain as well.
Of course, the Red Tails would be awesome.
Yes,
that
sir.
would be amazing to see that. But no, it's good that the colors are staying because I do think there needs to be a tie to their tradition that they've had on the field, not the R word. And if you are going to have some sort of tie, you need to interview them and ask them what they want it to be and what works for them and what is not offensive and what honors their tradition and culture.
Absolutely. Derwin, your thoughts here. Red Tails, Red Wolves, what name do you like? Anything out there? Spiders, we've seen a bunch of different names out there, like Richmond.
Yeah, Richmond Spiders, yeah. I like the Washington football team. That's what I like. Hey. I think they should leave it alone. I mean, they play in Washington, D.C. They don't play in the state of Washington. They play in the District of Columbia. So the Washington football team is unique. It's different. No one else in the NFL has a name like that. I would just keep it. I like the colors. I like the numbers on the side of the helmets. You want to, change a couple of the helmets, put some W's on the side. I like the Washington football team.
How about just be some simple. W's in the win column? How about that?
They're going to do that this season because I think they're going to win that division.
Kelly?
Don't try my team. I'm from Richmond, Virginia. I grew up a Washington fan, and I agree with Derwin for the first time in our show's history.
Come on,
because this is, with this name, this is the best team we've had in forever. So let's not jinx it. Let's not mix it up. Keep exactly how it is. We've got some young players that are phenomenal. But I do like the Red Tails for a sentimental reason, obviously. But I like the Washington football team. What I do love from a marketing standpoint is how they are dragging this out. How this is at the top of all of their, everybody's, looking for it. This is something that, you can just drum up with the community. And so I love it from a marketing standpoint. But I think the Washington football team sticks now.
Well, it's some good press with the issues they're dealing with off the field when it comes to being good stewards and a good team in the National Football League, and of course some of the issues they've had dealing with women. OG, your thoughts here? What team name you got, bro? Aces? What are you doing?
The thing about it is, initially I agree with Derwin about them keeping the Washington football team. But the thing about it that sticks out to me the most is that I would have been more inclined for a color scheme change because at the end of
you can't do that. You can't do that.
No, I know. But what I'm saying is at the end of the day, when I see those colors, I always going to see the original.
The R word.
It won't change for me. I mean, but I think the Washington football team is the best thing to stick with, though. I think it's solid. It's different, and like Kelly said, from a marketing standpoint, everybody's anticipating what's going to happen. But I personally think they should stay with the Washington football team.
They're going to keep the colors because no one else in the National Football League has burgundy and gold. So that's just, some of the other names you got on there. You got Demon Cats, Commanders, First City Football Club, Guardians, Monarchs, Washington, D.C. Football Club, Washington Capital City Football Club. We'll see. Wild Hogs. They won some Super Bowls with the Hogs. So we'll see about the Washington football team and their new name early next year in 2022. Real quickly, Lamar Jackson. Let's go ahead and roll this video here. We saw him once again. We saw him on the sands playing, some touch football and things of that nature a year or two ago. This time on the blacktop at his camp, playing defensive back, also receiver, guys. A lot of pushback from some folks out there on Lamar Jackson. What are your thoughts? Should he not be out there playing with these kids, or is it fair game? Is he okay? He's still young, right? Should the Ravens be concerned, Kelly?
Find a field, sir. Get off that blacktop. Like my knees and shins ached when I watched this, and I'm not that old. So when I just looked at it, I just imagined him changing direction and his knee or his hip being over here and the rest of his body being over here. Now, I know that these children will love it. They will love it. They will always remember this till the day they die. This could, in 10 years, somebody will remember this that is in the National Football League. But yeah, pull it together, son. Pull it together. No.
D-Dub, he's giving back to his community, man. Grew up down there in South Florida, man. Can you fault him? Look, if I'm the Ravens, I probably fault him, but I'm not the Ravens, so I'm okay with it.
Well, I mean, yeah, I love him giving back, but he can get back and do it on the grass. You don't have to be on that hard top doing that.
I don't care where it's at. You probably don't want to be out there doing that.
But then if I'm the coach or the GM, I'm on the phone I'm blowing up his phone because he has an opportunity. He's going to probably be one of the highest paid quarterbacks. If he gets hurt, he is the franchise. The Ravens are done. It's not even worth the risk. Yes, you can get back, but you can get back in a safe way, be on the grass. I wouldn't be playing DB against these young kids.
You mean you don't want to pretend like you're Jalen Ramsey?
No,
Hey, Willie and OG, I want both you guys jump here at the same time. $40 million on the line there. If you're the Ravens, are you like, hey, Lamar, what the heck are you doing out there, young man?
No, I'm definitely if I'm the Ravens, I'm probably a little upset. I want him to take better care of what he's doing in the offseason because, like Derwin said, he is the franchise, and no Lamar Jackson is definitely no Baltimore Raven.
Yeah, hey Willie, real quick.
Yeah, you in one respect, you definitely want him to take care of himself. But then on the other side of that, when you watch, especially in my sport that I specialize in, at least in basketball, you see the summer runs that happen. And these they're not sanctioned by a team. People can get hurt during those runs as well. So when it comes from an injury standpoint, it's really no rhyme or reason. You kind of don't know when it's going to take place. But I would like him to be safer.
Jawan James, tackle with the Denver Broncos, hurt himself. $10 million, not at the Broncos facility, not at a sanctioned Broncos practice. That's the problem Lamar could face. You get hurt and you're not on the Ravens' time, you could be, looking at some issues there. So if you want to get hurt, make sure it's on your employer's time. But you got to love Lamar out there, man, giving back to the kids. It's kind of hard to follow. So we'll see how Lamar fares in 2021. He was the Madden cover boy for Madden 21. All right, let's take a break. We'll come back. Last segment here. The esports part of the show. We're talking NBA 2K22. It comes out in September, but this week, the cover athletes came out. That's one of them, Luka Doncic. We'll talk about that. Also, history being made with the woman gracing the cover. We'll talk about it right here. You're watching Esports Extra, exclusively right here on BNC. And we're back here on Esports Extra, right here on Black News Channel BNC, episode number 2. I'm about to wrap it up and put a bow on this thing. Larry Leader, CBS Sports, got Kelly Rose Brinkley, former Olympian, yes, bronze medalist in London 2012. She was a hurdler. Get over those hurdles, man. Derwin Worrell doing his thing, TV sportscaster. A. Willie, college basketball player and former scout. OG, just all around good guy, does everything in the esports space. OG, we're going to start with you. We're talking esports guy, sir. You are Mr. Esports right here. NBA 2K, you're part of the NBA 2K League, just came out with their cover athletes, plural. Luka Doncic, of course, on the cover. 75th anniversary cover as well with the NBA season going 75 years now. You got Dirk, you got KD, and you got Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, 3 different eras there. And then, of course, you got the lovely Candace Parker, the first female to grace the cover of NBA 2K with the WNBA there, playing with the Chicago team there, Chicago. OG, we'll start with you. What do you think? NBA 2K22 and these cover athletes. You knew Luka was probably going to be on there. How exciting is this for the cover athletes?
No, I love it. Like you said, the 3 different eras. I mean, Luca is up next. KD is still around. Kareem is legendary. I mean, anytime you mention the NBA game, but Candace Parker, my all time favorite WNBA player. I'm definitely ecstatic about that. I'm hoping that they add the actual female my player aspect to the game,
Ooh,
so women can start, creating themselves and be of their own image. I think that would be a great start in helping pushing the women's game forward. But Candace Parker being on the cover is great. It's going to inspire more women, more young girls to reach for their dreams, and they can do, and it can be limitless. So it's great. I love everything that 2K did with this.
OG, Mr. Esports 2, you were just talking about women, our woman, our queen right here, Kelly Wells Brinkley. Talk to me. NBA 2K22, you got Candace Parker, as they would say in Boston.
When I saw, today when they were talking on TV about it and the pride that exuded from her, from, being granted the first woman, it made me feel pride as well. I hope that they continue this tradition. I mean, she is a beast, like a monster, unmatched skills, incredible, and it's so deserved. So as a woman, to another woman, I am so excited for this, and I'm going to pick up one just so I can have it, for a collector's item.
Ooh, nice. Derwin Worrell, you're into gaming now. You got the young type there, your kid, and the wife at home. How exciting was this to see the release? NBA 2K22 cover athletes. What's your favorite cover?
Candace Parker. I love it. I love it. I love any time that women are involved in something as far as sports. I gravitate towards the women because anything that a guy can do, I've seen it all through my years being here in New York City. It gets old, but to see a woman like Candace Parker, the way she plays the game, I love it. It's special. I'm glad that she's able to grace the cover, and I too will get one for myself because I like that she's on the cover, and hopefully they'll incorporate the women more into the game.
Yeah, hey Willie, you're a big W supporter, like legit, no cap, you're real deal. Holyfield, when it comes to this. How exciting is it to see Candace Parker grace the cover, first female to do so?
Hey, it's great to see her grace the cover. Also, she's doing it. What's bittersweet for me, being a Sparks fan, to see her do it and her team from the crib, the Chicago Sky. So it's bittersweet. I'm happy for her. So I'm great. I'm very happy to see that. The other cover that I'm really excited about is Kareem as well, because I feel like in this GOAT conversation, I feel like Kareem has been sort of glossed over. Kareem's incredible, and Kareem deserves his flowers. So I'm glad he's finally getting them.
38,000 points for Kareem in the NBA, number 1 all time, guys. So who do you think will be next? Real quickly, let's go around the horn. NBA 2K23 next year. Who's out there? Jason Tatum.
Devin
Booker.
Ooh,
KD.
nice.
Well, KD's
on there now. So yeah. Anybody else out there?
Well, I think Booker. Booker would be a good choice.
Yeah, that'd be a pretty good one. I think you're right on that.
Book
it. Book it. All right, it's over. It's done. Guys, thanks for being here, guys. Kelly Wells Brinkley, our Olympian, Derwin Worrell, fellow TV sportscaster, A. Willie, just all around good guy, minus the hoodie, and then OG King Kurt. Guys, thanks for watching. I'm Larry Ridley, CBS Sports, Madden, NFL, NBA 2K League. Thanks for watching Esports Extra. Don't forget, you can watch us each and every Sunday right here on BNC, Saturdays and Sundays, 4 p.m. Eastern time right here on BNC. We'll see you next week for episode 3. Thanks for watching, guys. Wave bye-bye, everybody. Have a good weekend, folks.